Open for Business is brought to you by Aggressive Marketing Solutions, your solution for all business social media marketing needs. If you need a creative team and marketing strategist to build your brand on social media, visit adgressive.com today. Adgressive.com. Welcome to the show, Open for Business. My name is Christian Hill. I'm your host. I'm here, and this show is brought to you by Aggressive Marketing Solutions, your source for all social media business marketing. If you need a team to help you build your brand on social media, then visit adgressive.com today. Adgressive, that's A-D, aggressive, like aggressive, but with an A-D. Adgressive.com today. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Tyler Heid. It's going to be really awesome to be able to talk to him today. He's a former BYU baseball player. If you guys don't know who BYU is, Brigham Young University over in Utah, very, very famous school. For all of you non-members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they are the Cougars. Go Cougars. He played baseball at BYU. Then he became a high school teacher for 8 years. And then he went back to school to study law, and now he's a lawyer. And he's married with 4 kids, and he's become an entrepreneur success. And he's going to share with us some awesome things about his life and some adversities that he's gone through. And really, he's a testimony to all of us that no matter who you are, no matter what kind of person you are, no matter what adversities life throws at you, you can become successful and do anything that you possibly want to achieve in this life if you just go for it. And so without further ado, I'd like to welcome Tyler to the show. Tyler, welcome to Open for Business Live. It's good to have you here. How are you?
It's good to be here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that introduction. I like what you said. Just go for it. You know, like we're only here on Earth one time, and we got one shot, and let's do this, right? Let's go for it. So I love that. Thank you for that introduction, and I'm excited to share a little bit about my story today with you. So.
Absolutely. It's great to have you here, Tyler. I want to start out with just a little bit of your background. You played BYU baseball and you've moved on to do law. You have a family. How did that all start? When you were in high school, what was your dreams, your aspirations? What was your life like? And then walk us through college and then deciding to eventually become a lawyer and then do this life thing that you're doing and starting your entrepreneurial career. How did that all start?
Yeah, so if you go back to high school, I was a pretty big time pitcher in high school. I was in Arizona, so baseball was my future. I thought baseball was going to be my, that was kind of my end game. I was going to go to big leagues and I was going to play professional baseball and all that stuff. And so I ended up getting a scholarship, both academic and athletic, to go and play baseball at BYU, like you said in the intro. And it was really interesting as time progressed and as I continued playing baseball, I started having more and more health problems. And wasn't diagnosed at the time, but about a year and a half after I finished playing baseball, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS. And what's really crazy is that I was in my first year teaching high school out in Philadelphia. We were living out there at the time, and I started slurring my speech. I couldn't talk, and so really the fact that I'm able to talk to you today is kind of a miracle in itself. So that was kind of how I got diagnosed. I had all kinds of balance issues and different problems while I was playing baseball and health problems, but it wasn't until I really lost my ability to speak that I was actually then diagnosed with MS. And then I was able to continue on. It wasn't too bad. I was able to start talking again. Started taking some medicine and some supplements and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But I was able to talk again. I was able to get back into the classroom and teach and coach. I actually ended up being high school varsity baseball coach at my old high school. We moved to Phoenix, where I'm from, and I actually got that job. So that was kind of cool. And kind of thought that was my future, was teaching and coaching. And I was a history teacher, Constitution, taught about guts and economics and freedom, and love that stuff. And so really, your question is then how did I end up becoming an entrepreneur and going to law school? My health started to go, get a little bit worse. I started not being able to walk as well. I had to use a cane a little bit, and started thinking, what is it? What can I do? And through a lot of thought and prayer and discussion with my wife and all that stuff, right? That's important. We ended up deciding to go back to school, and I went to law school. So then back to Utah, went back to BYU to go to law school to become an attorney, and got hooked up with a law firm while I was in law school to do it that does estate planning. And I, with my physical limitations, I'm not going to be able to go into a courtroom, nor do I want to go into a courtroom and be a courtroom lawyer. So estate planning was really an easy way for me to do that. I can write documents, I can do that kind of stuff. And what was cool is the law firm I hooked up with is called Inter Vivos, and they are a really unique law firm in the fact that they allow everybody to sort of be their own business. Right? And so I really caught the entrepreneurial bug. I really caught this idea, this vision of, hey, I can be my own boss. I can create passive income. I can do, all kinds of stuff as an entrepreneur that I couldn't do when I was working for somebody else. I think you understand that, Christian, right? So, this idea of, Robert Kiyosaki, the famous rich dad, he talks about how you can either carry buckets every day and trade time for money, or you can build a pipeline of income and build a passive income. And so I really started to learn that as I became an entrepreneur and as I started working for myself as a lawyer. And then sort of the last piece of that puzzle kind of came together for me when I was contacted by a friend of mine who's an attorney down in Arizona named Shane Krauser. And he reaches out to me and he says, hey, have you heard of this life business? They're promoting all these financial products and doing all this stuff. And it's a network marketing company, and you should get involved. And I was like, no, I'm a lawyer. I don't do MLMs. I don't do network marketing. I don't do any of that stuff. And he's like, no, seriously, this is a whole different ball game. You got to check it out. You got to see what's coming. And so I started doing that on top of my lawyer business. And I love the idea of being an lawyer, working for myself. I have no boss, right? Which is why at 11 o'clock on a Monday morning, I can sit here and talk to you on an interview because I don't have to go to work every day. And so I got involved with the life business and started doing lawyering and doing this life business at the same time. And it's been awesome. It's been really awesome. And then just recently, in fact, just the last pieces of the puzzle were rolled out yesterday, March 1st. The Life Super app is it's all full scale now as of yesterday. It's all brand new, and it's the cool thing is with my disease, it's really hard for me to go out and go to work and get out of my house and do a lot. You guys can't tell right now, but I'm actually in a wheelchair right now, so I don't walk very well. I don't do a lot of things very well. I can't use the left side of my body, so I can't type very well. I can't walk very well, but what you're doing right here with the social media marketing and being able to promote products and do things, guys, I can tell people about an app, a smartphone app, right? I can tell people about this platform. So I'm not selling a product or anything like that. It's just an app on your smartphone that does everything for you. And man, when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is it. This is blowing up. This thing is huge. And we have plans of we're going all over the world, and I have connections all throughout Asia, and we have people down in South America, and this thing is just blowing up, and that's the power of being an entrepreneur. Is it doesn't matter what your situation is, it doesn't matter what kind of health problems you have,
Mm-hmm.
you can make it work. And I love how you started, but I love how you started. You said you just do it, and I'll kind of add to that is just keep moving forward. Something's going to come around. You just got to keep going. I know so many people with MS or with other diseases that just sort of give up. Like life is. Well, I was 27 when I was diagnosed. So I'm not done with life, right? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
just getting started, right? And I have big
Heck yeah.
goals and big goals, big dreams, and things I accomplish. I'm not done at 27, right? There you
Yeah,
go. That was a
definitely. Let's
long
go.
answer.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that
Yeah,
passion. I love that passion. Let me ask you this question. What are some
yeah.
things, because you went and got your master's degree, you're a lawyer now, and you made this transition into entrepreneurship. So for those people who are wanting to make that transition, what is some practical things that they need to be considering they could do that would help them along that path to make that transition?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with being an entrepreneur is you have to understand that it's a whole different mindset, right? It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different beast. Whereas so many people get locked in this idea of I need to work a 9 to 5 job, and I need to have this stable income, this stable salary. Well, that's not what entrepreneurship is, right? There's no ceiling, but there's also no floor. You can make as much money as you want, but you also might not make any money, right? Like I said with Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about
Oh, you just lost it.
it didn't mess everything. Did that mess everything up? Sorry, I got a phone call. See, that's the problem with
No,
using
that's
my
okay. Just
phone.
I heard
Shit.
you when you said something about Robert Kiyosaki. You're back on here, so keep going from Robert
Okay.
Kiyosaki.
Yeah, so he talks about building a pipeline of income, right? Well, you're not going to make a lot of money necessarily while you're building the pipeline, and so I think it's a totally different mentality being an entrepreneur. Is you got to get things up and going. I think there's a book that's out right now. I can't remember the author, but it's called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. That's really what it is. It's kind of up and down, right? It's a roller coaster, but like you introduced at the beginning, you just got to do it. You just got to keep going. You got to keep moving forward. I've had a lot of people ask me, what keeps you so positive? What's your reason for keeping going? And I'd say, you got to either progress or die, right? Like you're either moving forward or you're done, right? That's it. So that's kind of how it goes. So
Wow, that's amazing. That's a really good. I think we could quote that. Tyler Heid says, "You either progress or you die." That's
there you
that's
go.
incredible. I've never heard anyone say that before. That's so awesome. So here's a question.
Right, you got.
What did you learn about yourself throughout this whole process of your life trying to gain success? What have you learned about yourself?
Whew, that's a hard one. Um, you have this idea of what you want life to be, and I know Christian, you're a baseball player too, right? So
Yep.
life throws you curveballs, right? It doesn't always come in there straight, and you got to be able to deal with adversity. So I love that you're titling this interview "Success Review," because that's really what it's all about. You've got to be able to deal with adversity because guess what? None of us are going to get through life without adversity. And so I'm trying not to be too emotional talking about this, but that's what I learned about myself is that, man, things are hard and every day is hard. And I'll tell you what, even today, getting up out of bed was difficult. Um, but I can do it, and we can do it. And that's kind of the biggest thing is that we can do this no matter what kind of adversity you're going through. There's ways of making this happen, right? So
Definitely, man, that's super inspirational. The first thing that comes to my mind when you're talking is I know that you're in a wheelchair. I know that the left side of your body doesn't work very well, and you're being successful. The first thing that comes to my mind to all those people that complain is you're just pansies. I mean, you don't have it as hard as a lot of other people have it, and yet those people their life is harder than theirs, and yet they don't complain. They go out, they do the work, they do what it takes to live freely, that they could get on an interview like this at 11 a.m. in the morning on a Monday instead of being at work, right? So that's
Right.
evidence right there that this success is real. It's real. There's no way that you can fake it, really. So another question that I have is you talk about mindset, and then you talk about growing a business. So maybe we can split that into two questions. What is your mindset when you want to build and grow a business? And then what are some practical things that you've done to grow your business?
Some practical. Okay. So my mindset. So I think I read a lot of books. Okay, so I think I'm a real advocate of reading books on success principles. There's a great book called Attitude is Everything, and really that's really what it comes down to is your attitude. So what's the mindset? It's always got to be positive. It has to be. If you let the negative come in, and believe me, I battle this myself all the time. Even this morning, like I said, I woke up with a lot of pain and didn't want to do stuff and get out of bed. But attitude is everything, so you got to be positive. So the mindset is, always that I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get through whatever adversity it is, and that's the mindset. And then what's led to success in business? I love what Orrin Woodward talks about. He says you got to get out there and see the people. You got to just get out there and talk to people. You got to network. You got to build. How are you going to build a business when you're not talking to anyone? Right? How are you going to sell your product, whatever your product is? Right? You can't. Right? And so if you're handicapped and you're trying to be an entrepreneur and you can't get out there and run around and talk to people, you got to figure out other ways, just like what you're doing with Aggressive. Yeah, aggressive.com, right? Aggressive marketing. You've got to figure out to sell yourself or sell your ideas or promote your products or promote whatever it is that you're doing in a different way. And so, networking, just getting out there and talking to people, and that's how you do it. That's how you got to
So
be an entrepreneur.
what do you say? What do you say to those people that they already know that, but then they're afraid that, oh, I don't know what to say when I start networking with people. I don't know how to communicate with people. What would you say to them? How do they learn that?
By doing it, right? So I've heard it said it's hard to steer a parked car. So if you're just sitting there, it's hard to adjust and get better if you're just sitting there. But if you're out there and you're doing it, then it's easy to what Orrin Woodward calls PDCA, or plan, do, check, adjust. You make a plan and you do it and you see how it works, and then you check it and then you adjust, and it's really that simple. Is you can't you can't say, well, I'm not going to do it until I'm an expert. You become an expert by doing it, right? It's opposite. So I've learned that. That's been a real challenge for me to learn. That's that
entrepreneurial mindset paradigm shift right there. Is that it's about the process, it's not about the outcome. Man, that's super awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me one. Here's one last question. What role has mentors played in your success?
Mentoring is huge. So if you find a good mentor, I think that's massively important. In fact, I just finished a book called Mentoring Matters, and it's an awesome book. But again, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't learn those things in school. You don't go to school to be an entrepreneur. Like, I even had an entrepreneurship class in law school, and I loved it. And I loved the idea of building and becoming my own business owner and all that stuff. But you can't just learn one time as an entrepreneur. You can't just go and get a degree in entrepreneurship, right? So having a mentor that can help guide you through the process, because like you said, it's a process, right? So having a mentor that can guide you through the process and walk you through your struggles and help you out when you're down or have adversities or have trials, because it is a roller coaster, right? Being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. And so I'm extremely grateful for my mentor. His name is Shane Krauser. He's down in Arizona. And he's the guy that I can go to anytime if I have any problem. If I have something going on and he can see the blind spots that I don't see, and he can tell me what he's having success with or what I can try, and he knows my situation. So yeah, having a mentor is huge, and that's an extremely important part of being an entrepreneur. Yeah.
That's amazing. One last phrase that I want you to finish, okay? Fill in the blank on this.
Okay.
If you do this, you'll be successful. If you do blank, you'll be successful.
If you commit to never stop, you'll be successful. That's my thought.
If you commit to never stop, is that what you said?
Yeah. Because like we've been talking about, how to adjust. If something's not working, adjust. In the business world, they call it a pivot, right? You pivot and you do something else that works, and just keep going until. The idea is I will until, and so that's my mindset is I will do this until I'm successful. Right? Commit to doing it.
Man, we need to.
Yeah.
Tyler, when are you going to write your own book? I will until. That's a good one. When are you going to write it?
I like it. The book is the rough draft is written. I'll be honest.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a book that I in process. The last chapter is when I win. Okay, so I'm not quite done with it yet because I'm still in the process of winning, and that's how all of us are. Is we're all winners in progress. And I want to finish the book up when I have my big victory, right? So you'll see, it'll come.
Oh, that's awesome! I can't wait to read it, listen to it, be a part of it. Man, it's so good to talk to you, Tyler. So awesome! Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christian. I know you will be a part of it because we're new friends now, and we're gonna do this. So it's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. We're going to do it until we win. That's awesome.
That's
Everybody,
right.
This has been another amazing episode of Open for Business. I'm so grateful Tyler Heid to be on the show. Former baseball player, now successful entrepreneur, and still winning and continuing to win until he just keeps on winning and doesn't have anything else to win. That's amazing. Tyler is an amazing inspiration to all of us. I hope you took some gold nuggets from this interview. Open for Business is brought to you by Aggressive Marketing Solutions. It's been such an awesome time. We'll see you on Thursday for another episode of Open for Business. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. This video has been brought to you by Aggressive Marketing Solutions. If you need a team of marketing strategists to help you build your brand on social media, then go and visit aggressive.com today.